Hi there, my name is Ligia. I was an exchange student in Ogallala 98-99. I'm from São Paulo State, Brazil, and I remember Herb used to call me Gigi. It's my nickname, but only my family calls me Gigi, nobody else, and he was so sweet calling me Gigi.
Hello, friends and family members of Herb. I would like to take a few moments to offer my condolences to you. Karen, especially to you. You are all in our prayers, and I just wanted to say that people like Herb make such a remarkable difference to exchange students like us who come to a new country and leave their homes and their comfort zones, and we find ourselves with such wonderful individuals who want to make us feel comfortable and want to make us a part of their family. And I know that over the years Herb has been such a wonderful counselor to so many exchange students like me, and I'm sure they take back wonderful memories from here, and they always remember him for what he has done and how much he has helped shape their lives ahead. I just want to take this moment and say that Herb is still looking down at us, and his light is shining upon us, and may his soul rest in peace. Thank you so much.
Hello, I'm Guillermo Lopez. I was an exchange student in Ogallala, Nebraska in 2001. It has been almost 20 years since I attended Ogallala High School, and I was an exchange program in the Rotary Club. But I still remember Herb's smiles at all the Rotarians meetings and how he supported the Rotarian exchange program. I'm sorry for this big loss. All my prayers and my family prayers are with you guys. A big hug from Ecuador.
Hi everyone, I'm Lorena Becchias, and I'm originally from Ambato, Ecuador. I participate at the Youth Exchange program 2002-2003 here in Ogallala, Nebraska, and I was really lucky to meet Herb during that year. You know, when you're a student exchange, it's always a hard time. You don't know anybody. You feel like a stranger, and Herb was the person who helped me to make sure that I felt like home too, and he encouraged me to try new things, to open my mind and have the best year possible. And it was the most amazing year, and I will never forget. Then I can say that I was able to go back, and now I live here in Ogallala, Nebraska, and the nice thing is I was able to connect with Herb in a deeper level. When I joined Rotary, I got to see different faces that I never saw before with him, and he's such an amazing member. He was very active. He was always service above itself. I can say a couple of times he got out of the hospital, and the next morning and next afternoon he was just right there, ready to help with the next service project. He was an amazing human being. He definitely was an inspiration to a lot of us. And it was a person with his smile and always giving you a big hug. He knew how to make you feel special. He was heavily involved with the Youth Exchange program, RYLA, and more projects in the club. And I can say right now that I am the local coordinator. He was my counselor, and he helped me out so much. He made me open my mind and give a chance to different students to come here as student exchanges. He was always trying to make sure that I open my mind and let non-traditional students come to Ogallala, something that we would have never done if it wasn't for Herb. And yes, we had an amazing opportunity with Julia. She's a great student. But Herb was always somebody positive that wanted to get to know kids. He will always tell me every kid is unique. You just have to give them a chance. Another thing that I will never forget is Herb was always there for me. When I was gonna go to my international convention, he was like, don't worry, let the club take care of you. We'll take care of you. And he was just always that way. He was making sure that everyone was okay. He was the glue that got this puzzle together. He always got our members together. He wanted to make sure that we succeed as a club, and he was always there with a smile and ready to help. So I'm very lucky and thankful to God that he allowed me to get to know Herb. He's definitely going to be missed in our club, in our community, and we're really sad that we lost an amazing human being, a great leader in our community. But we know that we have a great angel watching over us. My condolence goes to Karen and all her family. Thank you, Herb, for everything you have done for us.
Hi, this is Desi from Venezuela. I went to Oglala as an exchange student on 2004 until 2005. I would like to say that year spent in Nebraska is one of the best things that has happened to me. I gained many friends all over the world, and best of all, I gained 2 American families, which I love very much. So I would like to thank you all for what you do through Rotary Club. I would like to also thank her for making this program happen, changing lives and making dreams come true. I'm so sorry he left, but he left this world, but there's a piece of him in every one of us forever. So we will never ever forget him. I would also like to say I wish I would get to see you all again one day. I really hope that. And until then, I'm sending you all hugs and love all the way from Venezuela. Bye, you guys. Bye.
Hello everyone, I'm Lucas from Germany. The Ogallala Rotary Club, and especially Herb Knudsen, made it possible for me to stay in your city from 2008 to 2009. It was an awesome year that I will never forget. I like to remember the times Herb picked me up from high school to drive to our weekly lunch meetings. We always had such great conversations about the life of a teenager experiencing new things every day. He was always there for me when I needed help. My thoughts and prayers are with his wife Karen and his family and his many friends. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Francesca from Italy, and I graduated the Ogallala High School in 2010, so I was there 10 years ago, and I met her 10 years ago. I must say since then we didn't talk much, but I think he really was a fundamental person for me, and the work that he did, it really gave me the opportunity to have a better life afterwards. And I really think that it is very important that in the world people like him exist, because this is really, he really was a person who would bring people together and people from different cultures together, and he was convinced of that this was something fundamental for the world and to make the world a better place. So I hope that there are many more people like him around, and I really wish all the best for his family and the closest ones in this sorrowful moment, and may he rest in peace.
This is Fried from Germany. I've been Rotary Youth Exchange student in 2010, 2011 in beautiful Ogallala, and most of the time I stayed with Herb and Karen. Herb, I will miss you as one of the most inspiring, passionate and loving persons I have ever met. and I will remember all of the good and fun times we had together. For example, the school activities, where you would always be and cheer for me or any of your grandkids. But also the road trip to California, or you being my soccer coach. But most of all, I will miss the chats we would have each night in your living room. Herb, I will miss you a lot. Lots of love, Freed.
Everyone, my name is Rainer Santana. I'm 19 years old and I'm from Brazil. And I did the exchange program in Nebraska on the year of 2018 and 2019. So it's been about 1 year. So I met Herb on our Rotary meetings, and the closest memory that I have of him, I think it would be the day that our Rotary Club, they were having like a kayaking day. So everyone, all the Rotarians, they took their kayaks to the Lake McCartney, and we would spend like a whole day just kayaking and then just talking and chilling and having fun. But I remember that day it was super cold, like 15 or 20 degrees, so it was super cold. Like the lake was not frozen, but it was about to, I swear to God. And that day it would be my first time kayaking, so I was not afraid of doing it. I was just like concerned because if I fall on the kayak, it would be like in frozen water. So I was kind of concerned about it. And I remember that Herb, I think he noticed that I was kind of afraid of doing it. Not afraid, like I was kind of insecure of doing it. So I remember that he came to me, and then instead of just saying like, oh, don't worry, you'll be fine, don't worry, everything will be okay, it's not that hard. I remember that he came to me, and then he asked me a question that I'll never forget. Like, he asked me if I knew how to swim. So I was like, I do know how to swim, but I hope I don't have to. And then like we both like started laughing, because that's funny, because I was actually afraid of falling. And then instead of just like encourage me to do it, he would just ask me if I knew how to swim. So that's pretty fun. Like, and I remember that day, like I don't remember if he did the kayaking thing, but I remember that I did. So we crossed the whole lake, not the whole lake, but like a part of the lake. And then when I came back, he would be waiting for me, and then he would ask me, it was that hard? And I would be like, no, it was not that hard. And then he would ask me if I fell, and I would say, no, I didn't. So, and then after that, we would get a cup of hot chocolate, and then we start talking about it and just laughing and just making, like, we would think that it was very fun how I was afraid of doing it. But at the end, that would be super easy to do. So I really miss him. He was a close friend, so that's a moment that we spent together that we'll never forget. So
my name is Yulia Shurek. I'm an exchange student 2019-2020 from Ukraine. For me, Herb was a person who was keeping me entertained before all Rotary meetings. I saw him just 3 months ago, and he was telling me about an awesome family and especially grandsons he has. He was always in a good mood. He was cheerful, responsive, and ready to help. I'll definitely remember Herb as a person who was part of my exchange and made it better. Rest in peace. To all the family, I would like to wish to stay strong and lean on his memory. We all regret your loss.
Hi everyone, my name is Jenny Nielsen. I'm from Ogallala, Nebraska, and I was a Rotary Foreign Exchange student. So you'll have to bear with me, I am not a videographer. So when I was 15 years old and a sophomore in high school, then a local Rotarian, Dave Fowler, came to the school and gave a speech about the Rotary Youth Exchange program, and there was an instant spark. I instantly knew that this was something that was right up my alley and an opportunity that I couldn't pass up. So I was the first student at the time in 9 years to apply and be accepted from Ogallala's Rotary Club. And after learning that it was not a one-person winner-take-all situation, then 2 other young ladies actually applied the same year and successfully completed exchanges. And that was from 1999 to 2000. One went to Sweden, one went to Venezuela, and I lived in Santiago, Chile. And so I spent what would have been my junior year of high school over in Santiago, and I left 5 days after my 16th birthday in the summer of 1999, and I came home the summer of 2000. And so even in addition to all the experiences that I had that I could just talk at length about, anybody that knows me knows that I can do that, but I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. I got to see the turn of the millennium in a foreign country, and that's incredible. Everybody remembers where they were when we went from 1999 to 2000. We saw a new millennium, a new decade, a new century, all of those things. And so that was really incredible, and just one of the many incredible things that happened in my year abroad. So I was really thankful that I had the opportunity to do that, and I wanted to show you, I had so much fun prepping to do this video because I got out my Rotary blazer, which you'll see in just a second, and all the shirts and the things that people signed, the things that they wrote, and just remembering all the incredible people that I met and the experiences that I had, and they were just wonderful. I still have a handful of people and families that I keep in touch with today. They're some of my best friends, and the things that you go through when you're away from everything else that you know, they make you who you are. And so I was just really fortunate that I received so much love and support from everyone that I met along the way. So here is my Rotary blazer. So when you become an exchange student, you get a Rotary blazer, and as you can see, then my blazer is full of pins and pictures and things dangling, every one of them a memory, an experience, a person that I met. There's a couple of my Rotary flags, and so there's so much there. And then these are my ties from both of my schools. We did uniforms, and so there's a couple of ties from the 2 schools that I attended. And so that's just a really incredible way to keep track of all the experiences that you have and the people that you meet and where they're from. And I really enjoyed those things and looking at all of those pins. That was a huge part of it. And those experiences are with me forever. I had such a great exchange. Like I said, I lived with one family, and that was really wonderful. You really get to know people and to form lasting relationships. And so, like I said, that was my junior year of high school. I was able to return in the summer of 2000 and graduate with my class from Ogallala in the year 2001. So I was able to have my senior year and all those experiences, and it just was really, it was really, really wonderful. I could just go on and on about it, but I also want to, as you saw on my blazer, I also want to talk about my local Rotary clubs, because I think that down in Santiago, while I was there, it was really largely due to the local Rotary clubs. And I say clubs because I actually had 2 of them. There was one that you had the exchange with, all the formalities, the paperwork and things like that. And then the second club that I belonged to, they just adopted me. And so I did a lot of speaking engagements. I met a lot of people, that I still talk to today, which is wonderful. But without the help of those local Rotary clubs, then my exchange wouldn't have been, as good as it was, because they were just so supportive and so loving, and you really felt like family. And I think that our local Rotary Club is no exception. I think that when exchange students come here, that there's groups of people that make the most for those students and for the year that they're spending away from their families. And it can be hard. I mean, everybody can imagine what it would be like to not know a single soul or to speak a language or, any of those things. And so I really feel like locally your Rotary clubs are so very important. And so that brings me also to our local Rotary Club in Ogallala. And they're mourning the loss of a Rotarian, Herb Knudsen. And I really want to offer my condolences, first of all, to Karen and their children and their grandchildren, who I've all known, come to know and love. They're wonderful people. And also to our local community and our local Rotary Club, because I think that Herb was such an instrumental part of Rotary in this area. While I didn't know him as part of Rotary, I met him later in life when I returned to Ogallala, and as a business owner and as a supporter of fine arts, of schools, of youth, of sports, of all these different things. He was just a really wonderful face in the community, and so my sympathies go out to not only his family and his friends, but also to the local Rotary Club. And I hope that people that knew him really follow his example of kindness and generosity, because I think he was such a giving and a wonderful soul. And I think we can all learn from that example to continue supporting each other and to continue what Ogallala should be very proud of, because we're a very supportive community. So my condolences to the family and the local Rotary Club on Herb's passing. I'd just like to finish by saying, in a world where you can be anything, be kind.
My name is Jordan Delahunty, and I went to RYLA in 2016. That was a year that Herb wasn't able to go with us, and I can't remember why, but he just wasn't able to go with us. But he came in to the meetings where we sat and we learned about RYLA. He came and he talked about the things they did, and he made it sound really fun. And out of the times that I met him, he was just a really nice guy, and I wish that I would have got to know him better. And I know his grandsons talk a lot about him and how nice and stuff he was, and the world definitely lost a really good person, and so I wish I would have got to know him a lot better. But from the few times I did meet him, he was so nice, and he had some great stories to tell, and he was funny, and he is definitely really missed.